Good morning, everyone. We are coming to you live via YouTube streaming, via Facebook streaming, and also via Skype online. Each one of you is welcome to this live streaming. Probably this is the last talk on Lataif's and 9 points in response to a question. Unless I get any more inquiry about it, this is the final talk. Enneagram and 9 points. Sufis have mentioned about 9 points. What is actually 9 points? It is a mystery, or it is very simple to understand. Very simple as 1, 2, 3. How does it work? You will recall one of the compositions from Mirza Ghalib. आते हैं ये मज़ामी ख्याल में गैब से. Mazami means thoughts. Constantly keep on pouring into you from the unknown and unknowable realm that is known as in Sufi terminology as Alam-e-Ghaib. Alam means the realm. Ghaib means beyond, the unknown and unknowable. Ghalib Nabae Sharoz Sharir Khama hai. And that sound that you hear is that of an angel that speaks through me. When pen is put onto the paper, there is a sound. Now, those who are in the construction industry, there are the construction engineers, the planners, and many other subcategories and categories. But these construction people may be investors, maybe not. Suppose I am an investor. The first thing, a thought comes to my mind to build a set of apartments. I have a piece of land and I want to build the apartments, but I do not have enough capital. I will go to a builder. He will listen to my ideas. We have to raise the funds. He will draw a plan on the piece of land because he knows how to utilize the piece of land to build the set of apartments. He gives a concrete shape to the thought which nobody knows. It's a project. It has just come to my mind. He decides that he will build the apartments into few different categories: ordinary, then a little more expensive, and exclusive. He draws a plan. How much, what are the amenities that he would like to provide. 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, a split level. All this is going on at a level which nobody knows. Then he draws the plan. Then he gets a model made out of it, out of wood or something that can give people an idea, and he projects it on the website, works out the costing, and do all that. So there are two things. One which is invisible, the thoughts comes from an unknown and unknowable, and there is a particular way of coming it. And then, but all the work happens at the circumference. All the work happens at the circumference. If I take the construction engineer as a triangle, he is within that circumference, within that circle. Then the one who makes the map, the one who draws the actual model, the one who prepares the website, and all these. So in an inner development, I will go more from Oscar Icazzo's work. He first of all explained there is a holy idea, a thought comes to your mind, then the next circle is virtue. These two circles, their circumference are touching one another. Below that is 3 squares. Head, which is fixation, passion, which is heart, and instinct, the guts. So holy ideas come to the head, then an intense desire comes in an individual, yes, we should do it. It will be a good venture, but it can be distorted. If there is loss of holy ideas caused by characteristic ego fixation, that is why this square is known as fixation head. There can be distortion. The holy idea that has come to your mind is distorted. Then the virtues can also be distorted if there is characteristic passion, means something or the other filters into it and it creates passion, then your action will not be, you have actually deviated from your actual plan. The initial plan was very good, but you made it very enthusiastic without looking into your capabilities, and it finally fizzled out. Many times it happens. And when the plan is made, then it is presented to raise the funds, the models, and then they make an actual model of the 3 types of apartments, outfit it, and make it available for the people to visit. Actual construction has not started. So these 3, virtue, passion, and ego fixation. These are the important things that happen in the process of a spiritual development. So Oscar Picaso's Enneagram is of three types: virtue, passion, and ego fixation. There are two things: a set of circles, a set of triangles. The three points of the triangle is touching the circumference, and there is a circumference. So the first, for virtue, what is needed? What are the 9 points needed for virtue? Number one, if you wish to lead a virtuous life, you need to have serenity in you. You need to have humility, respect for everyone. You should be truthful. If you have taken a responsibility for something, you have to live up to that and be honest. Then equanimity within. You should be non-attached to it. Then courage, sobriety, innocence. When all these 8 qualities are combined together, whatever action happens, it is virtuous. It will not have any downfall. Serenity, humility, truthfulness, equanimity, non-attachment, courage, sobriety, innocence. Out of these, the action will be virtuous. Only remember, understand this much, and do not go into the complexity of the triangles within, how it happens, how serenity comes. Then you can work how serenity comes in, how humility comes in. We can talk about these at another time, how these things. And most of us know how you have to be serene under all circumstances and situations. You can remember Aurobindo's lines, "Oh, the entire cosmos is bound by a sound." Bible says, in the beginning there was Word, and Word was with God, and the Word was God. Hindus say, Ishavasya sarvam yat kinch jagatyan jagat ten tyakten bhunjitha magradha kashyasvidhanam. This is sound. NASA says, when there is any movement, this movement causes a sound. Fan is stationary. When it begins to move, there is a sound. Vehicle moves, there is a sound. You turn on your gas stove. As it is turned on, there is a sound. Clock has a sound. Everything is based on this sound. Aurobindo says, there is a power within that knows beyond our knowings. We are not aliens, nor as strangers join. We are bound to each other by a causeless force. Two people, husband and wife, sitting in one room on one couch. Imagine this situation. Two are sitting on one base. Both of them have their feet touching on the ground, which is tiled floor. Is the tile on which husband has his feet is separate or not connected with the tile to which the wife has put her feet? Both of them are getting a comfortable environment as the breeze comes out of the air conditioner. The light, the same bulb is giving light to both of them. Touching one another as they sit on the couch, as the feet are on the ground. A conversation, a conflict on any issue erupts between the two. The wife says, "Don't touch me. Don't touch me." So you can say that, but we are already touching one another. Both of us are sitting on the same couch. Don't tell me them kind of philosophical things. You always have something to tell. But don't touch me, make sure. This cannot bring serenity in you. No matter how much you recite your mantras. So the wife gets upset, goes to the room, pulls out the scripture that she is conditioned in, starts reading Karmanneva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana yada yada hi dharmasya glanirvavati bharat, and not understanding the meaning of it, or picks up the Savitri of Aurobindo or the verses from Holy Quran or something or the other, whatever be your connection. This way serenity cannot come into you. Serenity will come when you abandon all that has conditioned you. The same way you can go into each one of these. Innocence comes when you abandon all the ideas. You are like a child. You are starting a work with a priori conclusion. You go to the bank. You are looking for some finance. Bank pulls up your history. And now all the banks are connected. So he will pull out your banking history from all the banks. And based on that, they will deal with you. It's not that what was my situation yesterday. If I decide to make an investment today, and I have gone to the bank, that means I have the confidence. But banks looks at your failures. There was a person who has started one of the computers. I do not recall a particular brand. He went to get the loan from the bank. Bank refused to give him the loan. He started the work on his own, and eventually he bought over that bank. So but this is how it goes on. So you can analyze these points which makes you virtuous: serenity, humility, truthfulness, equanimity, non-attachment, courage, sobriety, innocence. These combined together create an action which is virtuous. These three images I have posted on the timeline. You can look into, save it, and study it from time to time. The second, the passion or the holy ideas combined together. Number one comes anger when things do not happen your way. Pride, deceit, envy. These are all the qualities. The 9 points the 9 is a very significant number. 9 is the perfect number, perfect single digit number. After that duality starts, 9, then 10. 10 is reduced to 1. 9 is the number for the cosmos. That means you are one with the existence. You are a cosmos within. All that is outside is within you. The human body is composed of 5 elements. Everything is composed of 5 elements. 5 is very important. Kabir has a particular bhajan which is very significant. He says man is a combination of 21. 5 elements, 5 organs of action, 5 organs of perception. There are 5, they are subtle points, and 1 is the being. So in the passion, there comes, passion means you are very passionate about your project. You are going to start. If things do not happen your way, anger comes in. The pride comes in because you are going to start a project. Even if you are going to buy a new vehicle, pride comes into you. You make an announcement before, I am going to buy a new car, a brand new, and you are telling your friend, and you know which one? I am going to buy a BMW. So he is not satisfied with BMW. BMW, this 7 Series. You know what is 7 Series? No, I don't know what is 7 Series. The same type of car that US President has it, and the same type of car that Indian Prime Minister Modi has. I have heard a professor was trying to cross over to the river, so he sat down in a boat, and he was a professor. So he started talking to the boatman, do you know this, do you know that, do you know this, that, and all kind of things. He is imposing his knowledge onto the poor illiterate boatman. His entire life has been spent in boat, crossing over the people from one bank to the other. So, as the poor boatman said, I don't know, sir, any of these things that you are talking about. The professor said, then your life is a waste. You have wasted the precious life that has been given to you. the boat continued to sail. The professor continued to have his dialogues. All of a sudden, the boat was caught in the whirling, that is bhavar, where the water starts moving in circles, and the movement is so fast that the boat keeps on moving in circle and it is difficult to come out. The boatman said, Professor Sahab, Mr. Professor, the boat has gone into the bhavar. Use your knowledge to come out. I am jumping to come out of this situation. All the knowledge of the professor gone waste. So pride is of that kind of a thing. You have to be quiet. What is the point that I am going to buy this and that, and so making an announcement, publicity in advance, unless you are doing a set of apartments and you need to raise the funds, then there is a particular way of doing it. That is not pride. That is a way of system. When you are going to tell the neighbor, you know where I am going? Why am I dressed today? I am going to BMW showroom. I am going to buy a brand new BMW. This is pride. Then deceit, envy, avarice, that is greed, a form of greed, fear, gluttony, lust, and out of this emerges sloth. So this is passion, and the holy ideas has transformed into this state. Then comes in ego fixation. How does it operate? When all these comes, there is resentment. There is a conflict between father and son, between employee and employer. There comes resentment. Flattery becomes the way. Vanity, melancholy, stinginess, cowardice, planning, vengeance, and out of that, a trait comes out, the outcome, indolence. So this is how the 9 points are. And the Sufis, Sheikh Abdullah al-Dagestani, said that he gave these 9 points and lataifs to Gurdjieff through the prayer. When you sit down in the I have given an explanation of all that happens. Normally a master will not give that description. Theoretical description, if it is given to you, you start feeling that this is what it is happening. He gives you the experience first, and then when you ask the question, he explains that. Here, with the explanation first, the imagination comes in. So he says Gurdjieff wanted to know about the lataifs and 9 points. He said after the morning prayer, Fajr, which is before dawn, he will explain. And after that, he started chanting Surah Yasin, which is considered to be the heart of Holy Quran. And something happened to Gurjeev. He has explained that this is what happened to me, this is what. So Dr. Bakhtiar, Lele Bakhtiar, is to be congratulated, who clarified an aspect of Islamic spirituality as embedded in spiritual chivalry and many basic metaphysical and cosmological doctrines of Islamic esotericism, as well as in bringing out full meaning of the spiritual import of the Enneagram. Her work therefore possesses not only a scholarly significance, is not only of scholarly significance, but also a practical one for those who are making practical use of Enneagram and who are in the quest of means to achieve moral and psychological healing. Her book conveys the very significant message that traditional techniques, doctrine and symbols, while always possessing an innate value which eschews their very nature, which is grounded in truth, reveal their full meaning and efficacy only within a living spiritual universe, means within a living spiritual environment, not theoretical. I had explained there are three things. Energy moves in frequency. Frequency then at the physical level, it creates vibrations. The vibration of a particular energy can be the energy can be converted into, transmitted into any healing substance through the method of vibrations. That is why there is emphasis on vibrational medicines. The vibration of a particular stone, which is condensed energy, is transmitted into, because what happens? Water has a tremendous memory. Dr. Tomato of Japan, he worked on water. Whatever message is given to the water, it changes its energy. The energy is measured on everything is measured on a scale of 0 to 10. Normally the energy level of water is 2. Whether it is regular water or bottled water or anything. But 2, at that level, water does not heal you. Your energy, the dark energy, normally is 2 or below 2. It cannot be self-healing. So your immune system has to work hard. You have to eat more healthy foods. There is a particular statement of Mother from Aurobindo's ashram. Someone asked Mother, what is the core, what is the secret behind your energy? You are working from morning till evening. Mother responded with a sentence, do you think my energy comes from the frugal meals that I eat? Frugal meals, you have to gulp 2-3 eggs, some meat and this in order to give you energy and immune system, but instead of that it gives you gluttony. But energy comes from a different source if you are connected to the cosmic source. To connect to that, to develop dark energy in you, there is a particular way. Breathing bridges you with the cosmic energy. You have seen, heard about these sages who had lived a very long life, and the food that they eat meager. I recall in 1981 when I was migrating to Trinidad, I went to the spiritual function at the shrine of my grandfather in October. It was the last day of the spiritual gathering. My uncle, the Sufi master, was sitting on the ground, no carpet, no sponge, on an ordinary thin mattress, squatted, meeting the people as they were leaving, and they want to have a dialogue with the master. He got up 4 o'clock in the morning, preparation because that was the last day. He attended the morning meditation session, then the talk session. After that, had the mild breakfast, sitting down, trying to take a little rest. In the tent outside, people are coming as they are planning on leaving, attending to all of them. The nightfall, the tents were to be removed. He came in the room, sat down on the ground, meeting the people. I was waiting for an opportunity to speak to him until 2 o'clock in the morning. I could not get an opportunity, and I did not want to force either. There was no change in his energy level. Continued to speak the same way. So as I was saying, the water, if you communicate, how will you communicate? The words that are flowing. Now I am speaking to you. It is the energy that is forming the words. Sometimes my volume is low, then it is high, then it is maintained at a certain level. The frequency changes. The energy moves in a different frequency. 528 Hertz is the frequency at which the heart vibrates. Heart works. If you have to have something that you are saying, an impact on the heart, its frequency has to be 528 Hertz. Then the verse will vibrate and will create a vibration, and when it reaches to your heart, it will have an impact. You will recall in 1898 when Vivekananda went to attend the Parliament of Religions in Chicago. Before that incident, I will not go into. He was to speak in the Parliament of Religions. His name came. The coordinator called Vivekananda. He said, I will speak in the end. Then, when it was the last speaker, the coordinator called his name and he said, this is the last opportunity. After that, you will not be given any opportunity. Vivekananda rose from his seat. It is not Vivekananda and energy, elegance that rose as he reached the podium, and he uttered 5 words. What were those 5 words? My brothers and sisters of America. My brothers and sisters of America. The entire hall began to echo with the clapping sound. Everyone was standing. The vibration it has created. Through your talks, through your presence, you can create vibrations. So if you send a vibration to the water, its energy level changes. You may wonder, how can I do this? When you look into the eyes of your girlfriend or boyfriend and you say something, does it not energies being sent through vibrations? And there is a response. How do you do that? If you can do that, you can do this also. So when I went by my doctor, I asked him, normally the energy level of water is 2. I will hold the water in my hand and cast an eye over it. And after that, you check the level of the energy of the water. So we could not get a metal cup. We got a plastic cup. I hold the water in my 2 hands. 2 hands means this hand represents the left side of the body. This hand represents the right side of the body. So the way of salutation is, I welcome you in my wholeness. Not that shake hand with the right hand. Right hand represented by the left side of the brain. Mathematical. So in your shaking of the hand, you are very mathematical. But Indian way is this. You would have seen Osho during his movements. When he comes in, he does this. Means this is the way of prayer, Christian. You bring the 2 hands together. This is the Tai Chi exercises, Qigong exercises. Like this, raising the energy, recalling the energy, bringing the 2 hands together, folding it, and you then bringing it to your heart center. And that is how we greet people. Then you shake the hand, you're shaking the energy. And so I held the water in my hand, cast a glance over it. It took 20 seconds. and I handed over to him. When he checked, the energy of the water has risen to 9. It can rise to infinite level. But this transmission can happen only through metal. If you use copper, the 3 metals are very important: copper, silver and gold. That's why in India we have the tradition of using the silver cup or the gold cup or copper cup, depending on your finances, to keep the water. And it is said that if you keep the water in a copper cup or a jug and use it, it is energized. And if under that cup you write something on a piece of paper, whatever values you want to infuse into you, you keep it under that and place the water on it for 20 seconds. The vibrations, the energy level of the water changes. When I was growing, I had the company of the Sufi master. So whenever he will ask the water, we use the stainless steel cup to give it to him. He will hold the water in his hand first and rotate his head, do something. So all the people, they around, the young ones, the younger than the young ones, they started imitating the master. You give them the water, like that. My grandmother saw me this. He said, "What is this? You doing stupid things?" I said, "But this is what Mama does it, my uncle." He said, "Do you know what he does?" I said, "No." He said that you are doing the empty, shaking the head. This is an acting. Spirituality is not acting. First of all, know what he does. So I said, "How will I know?" He said, "Inquire within what he does. Introspect, meditate. You will know. And then you do it, it will have an impact." So this is what I am telling you now. The moment you hold the water in your hand and look into, it's not that I alone can do it because I am spiritually evolved. Everyone is spiritually evolved. Some of you are not aware of it. Hold it in your hand and look at it. Transmit your vibrations through words. May this water, this is what prayer is. Communing your energy through the words becomes the prayer. Because water is an element of the cosmos, an important element. The breath that you breathe in, the light, the space unite together. And this is how you will begin to get a deeper understanding of 9 points. Not to be confused. The thoughts remain at the center. Energy remains at the center, and through the radii, it moves to different points on the circumference from where the work energy is diffused into through your actions, and all that happens through you. Virtue, passion, whatsoever it is. Only this much for this morning. If you still needs a little more explanation, send me a message. I'll look into. Otherwise, from the next session, we'll begin to speak on Vigyan Bhairav Tantra, the 112 techniques of meditation. It happened. Shiva, after intense meditation of eons, had convened the meeting with 7 sages known as Saptarishi according to Hindu system, explaining to them the deeper aspect of life and living in cosmos and everything. That very moment, Shiva's consort Parvati came. Shiva said there are 114 centers in the human body, but we are only aware of a certain 114. Out of these, 2 lie outside the physical preamble, outside. So that makes it 112. Out of these, so there are 112 techniques of meditation. But out of these, 4 happens naturally, so 108. Parvati heard it, he said, why? And this is 108 is an important number. When added together, it becomes 9. So when we use, Hindus use a beads rosary, but rosary is not the word that Hindus use. That is used in Islamic tradition. The Sufi rosary have 100 beads. Hindus have 108. 9, number of cosmos. So Parvati said there can be more methods. Shiva said, no, this is ultimate. She said, I will inquire. She went, meditated, did all kind of austerities, but she failed. So there will be a prelude to it, and then continuation of the techniques. These are all breathing techniques, and how through that one can bring about transformation within. Only this much for this morning. Until we meet again, take care and do have a pleasant day.